Hey guys, how are ya? Jeff, sunny day, out on the Royal Enfield. It's my bike and I thought I'd give you a bit of an update on it, a long-term update, how it's been. So I bought the bike a few months ago. As soon as I came back from that world launch in September in the States, I decided I was going to buy this bike. It's my first new bike that I've ever bought, or road going bike that I've ever bought. And I've been a bike journo full-time since the start of 2001, late 2000, somewhere like that. So that tells you that I must have been pretty happy with this bike and pretty impressed with it. It's just a basic, back to basics motorbike. That's why I like it so much. I'm slowing down in my old age, but I can actually punt this thing pretty hard through my local road. So that's what I really like about it. And you can read my world launch report anyway, and you'll see who the development riders were and the direction they took with the bike. It's a lot sportier than it looks, and it's a really cool machine. So from an owner's perspective so far, I've had to do a few little things to improve the bike, but I've been really happy with it. It's super smooth, it's running really nicely. I got no complaints. First thing I did, once it was pre-delivered and uncrated from the dealer, is it went to Sydney Dyno, where Dave Holdforth put it through his running program. Now Dave's run all of our long-termers in and race bikes and stuff in the past. Does a really good job. He uses the load of the dyno wheel through various programs to run the bike in how you would ideally want to do it on the street, which you just wouldn't be able to though. So some load, some free revving, etc, with oil changes, mineral based oil through to synthetic. So that was a 4-hour run-in process, and then I had the first service done, and then I went and picked the bike up from the dealership, and I've been really happy. We had a few small hiccups with the bike at first. I had an oil leak, the sump plug was loose, which was scary. That wasn't a Royal Enfield issue, that was a dealer problem. So I was pretty upset about that, but I sorted that out. And apart from that, little improvements I've noticed that have needed to be done on the bike as it came was the rear wheel was out of alignment. So if you've got one, that's worth checking. Mine was 14 millimeters out. I also laser aligned it and actual marks are out, but it's tiny bit, about 1 millimeter, which is better than most bikes. My handlebars were slightly offset, a few millimeters, which made it a bit different in the steering than you would think. And the crossbar was crooked, and there was a few little things like that that needed to be straightened out. So I've kind of got the whole bike nice and square and straight and in line now. It didn't quite come from the factory like that, which a Japanese or a good Italian bike will. So I guess that's the quality slightly there between the two, but I mean, the price of this is incredibly cheap. So I've got it all nice now. The other thing is the gear lever, very sloppy, so I've shimmed that up. I've shimmed the gear lever out, 0.5 millimeter with shimming behind the pivot point, and greased it all up and greased the rose joints and everything because they were completely dry. So it's shifting a lot better now, but I'm still going to order some better quality rose joints because there's still a little bit of slack in that lever that I don't like. I have no other complaints about the bike. I've drilled a couple of 10 millimeter holes straight into the baffle plates in each of the standard mufflers. It's got a really nice exhaust note now, which is pretty cool. I'll fire it up. So that's made a big difference, and that cost me nothing. And it runs the same, hasn't changed any, it doesn't need mapping or anything like that. So far I'm really happy with the bike. Just under 1,000 kilometers. I'm going to go over it again soon. I've already gone over it once and torqued and tightened to every nut and bolt from front to back. I didn't find any problems once that sump plug was sorted, but I'll go over it again. I'm a licensed mechanic, fully licensed, so I'm going to do all the servicing myself. So the next step for me is I've got to replace the calipers. I've been sent a new caliper front and rear. There's no problem with them. Apparently it's just a bit of corrosion they're worried about on the first batch. So I've got to put new calipers on it, keep running it for another 1,500 Ks, and I'm going to do the valve clearances, another 500 Ks, do the valve clearances, change the oil and filter. We're running Shell oils supplied by Moto National Accessories, which is fantastic. And we'll go from there, but so far very happy with the bike, and I'll have more for you soon. Cheers, take it easy.